Hi, I'm Rich Miller. At Virtua, we believe citizens need to be informed about the important healthcare issues affecting their lives. That's why we're proud to support healthcare programming produced by the CAUCUS Educational Corporation and their partners in public television.
This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by Virtua, Wells Fargo, Caldwell University, the New Jersey Education Association, Suez, ready for the resource revolution, Johnson & Johnson, and by KESSLER Foundation, changing the lives of people with disabilities. Promotional support provided by NJ.com, small news, big news, true Jersey, and by NJ Biz, all business, all New Jersey.
This is One-on-One. I'm an equal American just like you are.
The jobs of tomorrow are not the jobs of yesterday.
Look at this. You got this?
Here it is, man. Look at that.
Life without dance is boring.
When you first heard that they were doing Charlie Rose and Gayle King, didn't you go, what?
Do you enjoy talking politics?
No. People call me because they feel nobody's paying attention.
Our culture, I don't think, has ever been tested the way it's being tested right now.
Such a good question. High five.
Hi, welcome to the Tisch WNET studio here in the heart of Lincoln Center. We are pleased to introduce, look at it, it says TV personality. This guy is so much more than a TV personality. Former ad executive, television host, actor, radio host. He is Donny Deutsch.
How are you, man? Steve, thanks for having me, buddy.
Grace, it is an honor to have you here.
You got the nice, crisp Trump-like tie today. I mean, you're looking very presidential.
Why are you going with Trump right away?
That's blue. It really should be Obama, but he's not running. So, I mean, you know, we don't have any guys wearing blue ties running for president.
I noticed that. By the way, we're doing this going into May 2016. We don't want to date ourselves. Real quick.
Okay.
You're a branding expert? No, it's okay. You're a branding expert. You know image, you know personality better than anyone else. Donald Trump, 3 words.
Brilliant, scary, fascinating.
Hillary Clinton, 3 words.
Bright, questionable, gravitas.
I'm not going to ask you to predict because that is not the game we're in here. But
I will.
Go.
I actually think Trump's going to win. Not just even the nomination. I actually said this, I do Morning Joe a lot on MSNBC, and I said this last week. It hit me, and here's why. Number one, you know, let's assume at this point it's okay. Trump and Hillary. Trump voters right now, they're sticky. He can, as he said, he can go on Fifth Avenue and kill people, they're not going anywhere. Everybody who's voting for Hillary, they're going, I guess Hillary, you know, so they're not as sticky. Number two, he has set the bar so low as far as everything he does now, if he just doesn't call into a morning show 10 days in a row, he's presidential. So the first somewhat intelligent policy speech he gives, you know, it's going to be delightful and surprising. Oh, my God, not only is he this colorful guy who says it like it is, wow, maybe he can actually do this job. And he gets points for that. Thirdly, he can go to the left and right of her. You know, he's not stuck to any party platform. So he can go gun control, he can go, you know, abortion rights, he can go waterboarding, he can put a portfolio of issues that in the general election really works. And finally, I think America wants to see the President Trump show. It's as silly and as dumb as that. No, that's what it comes down to.
You just called it a show.
Yes.
It's not a show.
But that's the problem. That's the scary. Remember I said the word scary? Remember I used the word scary?
Yes.
That's the scary part. Because the average American is not going deep and going, okay, what really happens if this guy's elected? And the reality is they're like, hey, you know what? What the heck? It's all screwed up now, and let's see what that guy can do.
What's the difference?
Well,
you think there's a fair number of what's the difference voters out there? Like how much difference does it make?
I think people are so fed up, and they are so, and the problem is Hillary Clinton, who is eminently qualified, is the status quo. And people want anything but the status quo, even if something doesn't make sense. They're willing to throw it to the wind.
Let me ask you this. Because you have been on the air for a while.
I'm old.
No, you're not. You're seasoned and you're still
grizzled.
You're top of your game.
Thanks, buddy.
But the other thing is this. You've also helped people and helped companies figure out how to present themselves in the marketplace. People talk about being authentic. I got to work on being authentic, which I find fascinating. You're going to work on being authentic.
Exactly. That's great. Oxymoron.
To what extent do you feel the American public truly wants someone to be who he or she actually is?
That is the number one thing. When they do focus groups with Trump, you will have people say, I actually disagree with everything he says, but at least he says it like it is.
Even
at
if
least
he says something,
even if I disagree. Yes.
Forget about disagree. Incredibly offensive.
Like the things he said about Muslims, like the things he said
about Megyn
women.
Kelly,
the things
about Rosie O'Donnell,
on and
about
on
other kinds of people. It doesn't matter.
They will say, you know what, that was wrong. But at least there's a guy who says what's on his mind. And that's what comes out.
And sorry for interrupting, they don't think Hillary Clinton is that authentic?
It's the opposite. Whereas Hillary Clinton really doesn't offend people, but they just don't believe her, that she's manufactured, that she's calculated, that she's disingenuous. I'm not saying she is. That's what comes across. Look, we got a long way to go till November, but this is just fascinating.
All right, let's switch gears. By the way, you can talk to Donny Deutsch about anything. That's what makes him such a great. Forget about guests. He's just an interesting person. Can we show a clip from your show, from USA Network?
Tell the kids to turn away and let's show it.
All right. This is public broadcasting. You know that we raised the level of discourse. Did you know that about us?
I do know that.
Our president, Neil Shapiro, requires that we raise the discourse.
Guy.
He's the best guy.
Yeah.
We raise the discourse, so get the kids out of the room. USA Network. Show is called Donny. Just finished the first
season. Yes.
First season. Listen, this clip, I just saw it before. Get the kids out. Take a look.
What are you doing here? It's morning, Jeff. You're never here.
Oh, I just missed you. Can I talk to you for a second? Can we go talk? Go.
What is going on?
So, face. Look what I got as my daily laugh today. Congratulations, Mr. Dumbbell. You're viral.
How did you get that?
Do I really have to explain the internet to you? You sent it to someone, some teacher, Miss Eccles something, and then she posted it on her Facebook wall, and then people reposted it, and now the world has seen it.
Yeah, but she likes me.
Focus.
Let me see it. I look good. What's the big deal?
Okay, remember a few days ago when we did a show about no sexting?
Right.
Remember that?
Huh?
Okay, well, you just sexted the universe.
Okay, the premise of the show is?
A much more idiotic version of myself, which is not hard to do. There's not a big stretch here. I play a daytime talk show, so I have a fictional show on the show called Donny, where I'm like a Dr. Phil, but a very low-rent Dr. Phil. And I espouse advice on the talk show, and off the talk show, I'm a complete hypocrite, doing everything I'm telling people not to do. And it's a real send-up on the media. I play a guy named Donny Deutsch. Nothing else is real. We use my house, but it's all fictional kids and fictional scenarios, like a Curb Your Enthusiasm type thing. It's Larry David, but nothing else is real. Not to compare myself, because he's brilliant, and me, not so much.
You're having fun with this.
But it's fun. Oh,
why?
Because I'm taking on social issues. I'm stretching, and we talked about this before we got on air, to be able to stretch muscles that you've never done before. As you graciously said in the introduction, I've done a lot of different things, but to write and create my own scripted comedy is like a dream come true. So, I love flying without a net. I know I can do the next talk show. I know I can run an advertising agency.
Yeah, you already made a few bucks now?
Yes, I did okay. And which gives me the ability to do crazy stuff like this. So it's just fun as hell. It really is.
Television.
Yes.
Broadcasting.
Yes.
The digital piece dramatically changing the landscape.
Yeah, look, your kids were here before watching another segment, and if you watch your kids the way they consume, there's a screen. So to them, there's no difference. It's not television, it's not digital, it's just a mobile device that they watch what they want to watch on. And so basically the words television, the words broadcasting, the words digital, 20 years from now are not going to exist. It's just content and how we get it.
Just stuff?
Stuff. It's just basically, and it's all on demand. Not on demand in the sense that we know what cable TV means on demand, but just, I'm going to watch what I want, how I want, when I want, period. And that's it.
And so the watching is one thing, but the listening is another. Sirius in your world. SiriusXM. What are you laughing for?
Because
people call you, I listen, I go, they ask Donny everything.
Well, this is another example of me doing something that I have no right to be doing. I have a weekly show on Stars 109 Sirius called Dialing Donny. On Wednesdays at noon Eastern, and basically for women to call in, for the most part. Men can call, but the whole premise of the show is that a lot of women in their life don't have a guy to talk to, that they can, either a guy best friend or a husband they can open up to, or a big brother or a father. And so I'm that guy who's managed a company with thousands of people, has 3 daughters, loves women, and I'll give it to you straight about anything, career, parenting, relationships, and it's fun as hell. I'm having the time, and I'm actually good at it.
You call yourself a feminist.
I am. My company, my 9 of my 11 senior partners were women. That's what made us so successful. I'll take a woman over a man anytime in business. They're superior.
By the way, sorry for interrupting. There are 9 people in our company.
Right.
I'm the only guy.
Yeah, and
Feminist?
that's why it's doing
That's why we
really
got a
well.
good company.
Yeah, that's why it's doing well.
Why are they better?
It's very simple.
By the way, we got a lot of guys here. Guys, I'm sorry.
No, here's the simple. I've actually written a couple books. I have a chapter in one book called The Female Superiority Doctrine that basically, if you watch a Saturday morning TV commercial about a boy or a girl's game, at the end of the commercial for a boy's game, a boy goes, "I won." At the end of a girl's game, they're all giggling together. They're collaborative. It's the same thing in business. Every guy, we want to know how big our office is, how big this is, how big our paycheck is. We demand raises where women are more collaborative. They want to do the job. They want to be paid fairly. We've got to get that right, obviously, because it's still 70 cents on the dollar. But there's less of that me, I am Tarzan stuff going on. That makes them better. So if you give me a man, woman, same exact DNA, obviously that's ridiculous to say, but I'll take the woman every time.
So I tell you this before we're talking about different things we do, and you've written a lot.
Right.
This book I wrote called Lessons in Leadership causes me to ask leaders of all stripes.
Okay.
The biggest leadership lesson they have learned so far, yours is?
There are three.
Go.
Number one, you can't be a great leader unless you're passionate about what you're doing. Surround yourself with people smarter than you, and show them you care about their success, if not less than your own. The same exact, they will walk through fire. You can't care about their success more than your own, then you're not going to get there. You can't care about your success more than theirs, they're not going to follow you. And don't be afraid to fail.
Speaking of the last part, I'm fascinated by this. I'm always fascinated. One of the things about your career that's always struck me is that you try a lot of things, and therefore, it's one thing to talk about the fact that you made a lot of money, but that's not the only measure, right? But what strikes me about you is you just keep coming back.
Yeah.
And so the idea of rejection or failure, which is a funny word, for some people to be like, oh, that's it, I guess. I'm looking at you going, Donnie tries something, doesn't work out a certain way, he just sits there and goes, all right, next.
Well, the real failure
what is that?
is not trying something. You know, I give motivational speeches, and I do this little bit where I get somebody up on stage and say, okay, go pretend to ask that woman out over there, and then the guy turns her down. Guess what? You failed. Well, no, you're no worse than you're not asked her out. So this TV show I did, let's say it never got on the air. Well, so what? It's no worse than I had not done it. Let's say it just goes one season. Well, that's a home run. I did it, you know?
It's a home run.
And so it's just about trying. Like, you don't get points. Nobody takes away points in life if you just didn't accomplish something. The only points to me is if you don't even try. And I know that sounds so obvious. As long as it's basically, it's RBIs. It's not batting average.
So when people say to you, well, quote, what if I fail? What do you say to them? Like, I don't want to try because what if I fail? You say,
that's the failure.
Not trying.
That's the failure. By the way, it's a win-win scenario. If you don't try, you're no worse than if you tried and technically failed. So everything you try can only be a win.
All the people out there watching right now who say, boy, that Donny Deutsch, I'm learning a lot from him right now. Biggest lesson about entrepreneurship right now. I want to start that. Biggest lesson, other than try. Putting you on the spot.
The biggest lesson is you got to keep getting back up. They punch you. Everybody I talked to, and I had this whole show on CNBC called The Big Idea, and I talked to everybody from Bill Gates on down. The whole show was entrepreneurship. And every single one says, had I known what I didn't know, I never would have done it. So you need that kind of naive sense of why not, and then every time you run into a wall, get back up, get back up, get back up. And that's what I keep doing also.
And the other thing, finally, you give back to Michael J. Fox Foundation. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm very privileged to be on the board, and Michael's a good friend, and what an inspiration, what an incredible guy. I mean, for most of your viewers, I'm sure I've actually not met him personally, what you see is what you get. The guy actually feels blessed that he has this affliction, that he's got a cause. It's amazing what he's done. He's got a beautiful family. And this is a guy that's going to change the world. You know, you sometimes do need a face on some of these horrible, horrible diseases, and it has an incredible face.
And you're committed to this.
Well, yeah, any way I can help, and so it's just, I'm love to be involved with it, and it's just, but he's incredible, he really is.
Donny, thank you.
Steve, we're a pleasure. Great, love your show.
I love everything you do, and we learn every time we listen to you, so I appreciate you spending time with us. Stay with us, we'll be right back from the Tisch WNET studio right here in Manhattan.
To see more one-on-one with Steve Adubato programs, visit us online at steveadubato.org. If you would like to express an opinion, email us at info@caucusnj.org. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/Steve Adubato PhD, and follow us on Twitter at Steve Adubato.
We are pleased to welcome Marilu Henner and Michael Brown, the authors of Changing Normal, How I Helped My Husband Beat Cancer. I want to thank both of you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
This book is a fascinating book. It's not just about being healthy. It's not just about beating cancer. It's about your extraordinary relationship. Why'd you write it together?
We thought we'd test our relationship. See if we could actually do
Curing
something
cancer
together.
was easier than writing the book together. You know, Michael and I have a really long history. We were college freshmen at the, I'm sorry, what?
College freshman.
At the University of Chicago. He was my dorm mate's boyfriend, later my roommate's boyfriend. I didn't dare twinkle in his direction, even though I thought he was this great guy, you know, because of the girlfriend code. Also, I was way too straight for Michael. He was a wild man in college. And so when they broke up second year, we just waved across campus. And, you know, but we always liked each other. Ran into each other in a courthouse in New Orleans when I was marrying my first husband. And didn't see each other then for 22 years. 13 years ago, he called me out of nowhere. We went out. It was unbelievable love. The first week, we're going to spend the rest of our lives together. This is like an extraordinary thing. And 2 months into our relationship, he's diagnosed with bladder cancer, stage 2-3 bladder cancer. And subsequently, a month and a half later, lung cancer. So I have been in the health field for a while. I've written several books, and I've been a real, you know, I'm very passionate about health since my parents both died in their 50s. And I knew that I knew great doctors. I'm called the doctor concierge by a lot of my friends. And I knew I wanted to take Michael to my doctors. But I thought, well, let's go see some of the more conventional, what a more conventional doctor would recommend. So that's what I talk about. We talk about in the opening chapter, the introduction chapter, which is called This Is Your Lucky Day. Because the doctor actually said, this is your lucky day. I have a cancellation on Wednesday. We're going to go in. We're going to take out the bladder. We're going to take out the prostate. We're going to pull down a piece of your intestines and make a neobladder. And don't worry if the two of you want to have sex, because we're going to run a small hose up his penis and you just pump it up 6 times.
That's your lucky day?
That's your lucky day. And I said, oh, can we have the 7-pump model? Because we're a sexy couple. And I said, what about nutrition, health, detox? He went, oh, go have all the steak and highballs you want. Then we're going to do chemo and radiation and blah, blah, blah. And so Michael in the parking lot, he said, I'm not losing my bladder. And I said, okay, we're going to go to my doctors and let's see what they do. And of course, they're great integrative East-West medicine doctors, full-on AMA doctors who also bring in some of the complementary medicines from other, you know, modalities. And they put a protocol together for him. And happy to say, 2 cancers, bladder cancer and lung cancer, he's now in remission 12 and a half years. So that's why we wrote the book.
And your version matches this one, doesn't it?
To the letter.
To the letter.
I mean, one thing you have to know about this doctor, he didn't examine me at all. He just glanced at my chart, and then he's ready to cut everything out without a second thought. I mean, I don't think I was going to even get examined until I was laying on the table getting ready to be cut up. So, scary stuff.
Yeah.
You know, how fortuitous is a ridiculous word. The idea that you are together while this is happening, and she's the leader of the effort, or she's leading the effort. What are you thinking?
What am I thinking?
You might have done, I don't know if you wouldn't have done the same thing, but she has had an amazing impact on this.
Oh, absolutely.
Experience.
No, actually, the last chapter in the book is called the What If Scenario, and that is the what if I hadn't been with Marilu, what would have happened? A very realistic take on it, which basically would have been, I would have had my bladder and prostate removed. Maybe I would have done immunotherapy first. It would have failed. Then I would have had the bladder and prostate removed. Then I would have been sickened by that. I would have gone a couple of years. Then I would have started coughing blood because by then my lung cancer would have grown to the point, and I probably would have been dead, 10 years ago or so.
And you know, for people who really want to understand what some of these more holistic, alternative, just beyond the things that were being talked about.
Right.
What specifically are we talking about, Marilu?
Oh, there was a whole list. And we go through a lot of them in the book. You know, whether it was nutritionally, because that's a big passion of mine. I always call it learn to love the food that loves you. Right. Because if you have a meal and you're bloaty and you're gassy and you're sick and you're tired and you have to undo your belt and you don't go to the bathroom for a couple days.
I'm talking me directly.
I know, I'm looking right at you. No, but it's true. Most people think that that's a meal. And if they don't feel like that, then they haven't eaten.
Right.
And so, that's like the normal. So that's the book's called Changing Normal, because you change that. Manage your stress differently. Hydrate yourself. That's a big one, because
Water.
people, oh my gosh, it's crazy how much soda and coffee and all the other things that people drink all the time. And then, just in terms of things like skin brushing, which which opens up your pores and helps you sweat evenly all over. Getting on a rebounder, which is just a rebounder is like a mini trampoline, and you just do low impact for 2 minutes. It's like it shakes up the orange juice of your body. You know, I use cartoon versions sometimes to describe things, but it stimulates your lymphatic system, and it also it triples your white blood cell count for the hour after you've done it for 2 minutes. And it's a great stress reliever as well. Infrared saunas, which get into the body on a cellular level, because fat's the poison carrier. You know, exercise, just so many little things. You don't have to wait for a cancer diagnosis to, you know, do some of these things.
How did you learn all these things? Because you've been talking about these things for years.
Long time, since 1979. Yeah. Well, my father died. I was 17, he was 52 at the time. I ate my feelings, put on a lot of weight. My mother died 1978. She was 58 years old.
While Taxi was happening?
She died 3 weeks before I got Taxi. Right before, yeah. And when she died, I saw what they were doing to her in the hospital. She was a dancing teacher who lost her leg in a short period of time. And it was from arthritis. And I said, you know, can you imagine if you do right by the human body? Because her body was still trying to rally. The human body is such an incredible thing. And we're going to look back on this a lot of times, I think, as the Dark Ages, because you can't just, like, cut and burn people and poison them. You know, you've got to change the normal. You've got to change things. You know, it's like, think of it as a field of soil. A weed sprouts, you can't just cut it out and, you know, blast it. You've got to, like, tend it, loving care, different fertilizer, things like that.
Speaking of the tending, can we talk the relationship? Because you've offered a whole range of very concrete and valuable pieces of advice that we encourage people to learn more about, the keys from your perspective of this relationship.
The relationship? Well, the relationship, the key, I think, was starting out
was
from
and
a
is.
Huh?
Was and is.
Yeah.
Was and is, yes. The was, you know, the common bond of having known each other in college really made a big difference. And I think this is something that's happening a lot more now with the internet and with the Facebook and stuff, that people are reconnecting and finding the people they should have been with the whole time. Mm-hmm. You know, the story in the book really goes into all the different things I went through after college and what really set me up for cancer. And a lot of that had to do with stress, bad marriage, and other things. So when I finally came through all of that and got with Marilu, even though I was physically sick, I was ready and open for her. I was open to accept her love and to give her love. And that really helped to set the bond. And then going through this, which really happened quite quickly, we went from the diagnosis of bladder cancer to the all clear on the lung cancer in 6 months. And from there, you know, of course, gratitude comes into it, but also love with her family, love with her children, who I helped raise.
Oh, yeah.
And the bond is just really strong.
But for couples right now watching you, advice to them struggling?
Don't bail. You know, do it together. Hang in there, get a lot of opinions. You know, Michael really did a combination of East and West, you know, typical AMA things like immunotherapy. He didn't go all for the radical things that a lot of times cancer patients get told that they should do. But, you know, dialogue, a lot of just really understanding. There are going to be some times, I always say the first day is the worst day, and then the rest is all about putting a program together and putting one foot in front of the next. Read a lot. Read. Don't just go to the first 2 pages of an internet site. They've paid to be there. Go to some of the more obscure things. Read all the conflicting opinions, because something will start to ring true to you.
But not everyone has her. I hate to say it, but not everyone has her.
Right. But everyone, or a lot of people, have caregivers. And I think they need to be open to these caregivers, be either their husband or their wife. Especially men can be resistant to change.
I don't need anyone.
Yeah.
That doesn't work, right?
Or they don't want to change. They'd rather take permission pills.
And, you know, our medical system is set up to try and satisfy people that they're going to get back to normal. Okay, you have this cancer now, we're going to cut it out, and you're going to be just fine. You're going to go back, and you can just go back on the couch and eat your potato chips and drink your beer and just live your life. And of course, that's not true. And so we have to get away from that. We have to get people to think more deeply about this and embrace the change that they need to make.
Yeah. You have just helped a lot of people on public television, and you also joined us on our on Metro Focus, and you continue to help people. Changing Normal, How I Helped My Husband Beat Cancer. You just helped a lot of other folks. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the CAUCUS Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by Virtua, Wells Fargo, Caldwell University, the New Jersey Education Association, Suez, Johnson & Johnson, and by KESSLER Foundation. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.
At Virtua, we don't cut the quad tendon for knee replacement, so you don't have to cut anything you love to do. It's what we don't cut that counts. The Virtua Joint Replacement Institute. Visit GotMyLifeBack.org today.